Hello and welcome out to my shed. It's myself, Mark or Badger, and straight off, this video is going to be slightly ridiculous. It will give you incredible insight to me as a person, and that's scary. But in this video, I'm not actually going to be telling a story. I am not going to be talking really about folklore and mythology, and I'm not going to be talking about books. I am going to be talking about sticks, because across multiple social media platforms, I find myself talking about sticks a lot because I fucking love sticks. And if you're familiar with me across any of those platforms, or heavens forbid you know me in real life, you'll know that it's been an obsession for a long time, though it has come to a head during lockdown, no surprise. And it probably is a testament to my state of mind in the last 2 years. But I get asked questions about sticks, so I decided to do this video and talk about it. So let me start off with saying that sticks are genuinely really important. They've been so important in the development of us as of the human race, of us as people, because sticks have always been there at pivotal points and have served a purpose. The earliest dwellings that we consciously made, were made with the use of sticks. Coverings, shelter, sticks were involved with that. And that happens when someone looks at a thing, an object, and sees potential or an opportunity in that. And that is a testament to the imagination, which I think is incredible. You also have to look at the use of sticks as tools, as implements, for whether it's farming or indeed as weapons, or for hunting, or for mark making. I have a pencil here. I always have a pencil in my apron. And some of the earliest mark making devices were sticks, sharpened sticks, whether that was scratching into clay, the use of charcoal. To make charcoal, you need fire, and for fire you needed sticks. It's been I don't think we'd be where we are if it wasn't for sticks. And it is, as I say, it's a testament to the wonder that is the imagination. What is it in us that can look at something and see its potential and come up with the uses for it? It really is quite amazing. To bring it more back to everyday kind of people in my own life, kind of like growing up, I lived next to a park. I grew up next to a park, and I live at the foot of the Dublin Mountains. So walking through, the park, or being up in the woods, sticks were everywhere. And now that I'm aware of it and I think about it more, one of the things I really love about sticks is how accessible they are. Within reason, there's no real threshold or barrier to being able to engage with a stick. You simply pick it up from the ground and it's yours, and it can be whatever you want it to be. I used to pick up twigs when I was out walking, and they would come home with me, and they would be pushed into the hands of my action figures, and they became weapons. A stick was never just a stick. It was a sword, it was a bow, it could be anything I wanted to be. And again, that comes down to the imagination. So as an artist, and I studied fine art and sculpture, I was influenced by artists like Andy Goldsworthy, who's an incredible artist, and his working with found natural materials is incredible. He's such an amazing way of looking at the world around him and the possibilities for beauty and order as well. So I've always loved that about it. But as a storyteller, which is my latest incarnation, I find that a stick is a very useful prop and a tool, because if you are a good storyteller, or if you're on your way to being a good storyteller, it is useful to have, because one, holding a stick gives you a sense of security. If needs be, you can use it if times get tough, or if you're in a dodgy situation. But there's something about holding a natural material that makes me, and if it makes me feel comfortable, it makes others feel comfortable. We're not all that different. But holding a stick as a storyteller, at its very kind of most basic It is a great tool for direction. When you're telling a story to a group of people, and bear in mind you're a solo storyteller, you can use it to gesture. You can use it as a companion. If you reference towards your stick, if there's dialogue where that's needed, or it can be anything you need it to be. But if you're a good storyteller, you can make the audience see what you're seeing or what you want them to see when you use a stick, if you use it well. And that takes experience, and it takes training, and it takes imagination. And I think if an audience comes to storytelling, they've already got some of that. But your imagination is like a muscle. It needs to be exercised, and it needs to be used. So yeah, the importance of sticks and my love for sticks is the opportunities that it presents. But that's not unique to me. That is something we as people have done since the beginning of time. And it's not just people, by the way. Can I just say, little break from this for a moment? Look at how a dog is when they find a stick. When a dog finds a stick, they will bring it to you. They will show it to you. They will chew on it. They will keep it for as long as they can, unless you sneakily throw out your dog's stick. And if you do that, you're a bastard and a horrible person. But a dog will love a stick. And if dogs are not one of the greatest ambassadors for joy, well, they are. But if you don't see that, then I think there's something fundamentally wrong with you. So don't trust me. Trust dogs. But as I say, to tie up kind of the importance of sticks, look at their use in history. Look at the role that they've played. Look at the importance of them still today in the development of children, you know, as tools still to this day. They're so important. I will give a special shout out to stones. Always makes me think of sticks and stones. May break my bones. But stones are very similar to sticks in that they've played a pivotal role in the building of structures and as tools, and they're also accessible. And one of the things I love about sticks that is shared with stones is the variety. There are so many different species and types of tree, and then every stick is different and unique. And we have to remember, plants have DNA. You know, plants have DNA. So I mean, and plants have gender as well, but we don't think about it. A stick's a stick, and that's how we should treat people as well. It's not important what their sex is or anything like that. It's just, it's a stick, and it's a good stick. And I don't believe that there's bad sticks. I think there's sticks that can be used for bad things, but fundamentally, sticks are neither good nor bad. They are neutral. It just depends on how and by whom they are used. But the variety of sticks I absolutely love. I realize I'm caressing this stick, and if you're uncomfortable with that, I'm sorry, but I, again, fucking love sticks. But the variety of sticks is incredible. And I love trees, and I love wood. And as a sculptor, again, I love it as a material that can be used. But the variety of the types of trees is incredible. You get soft woods and you get hardwoods. You'll find kind of like small sticks and large sticks. And you can find a use for them. But even bringing it down to the beliefs around different types of wood and trees, and this is just to bring in a little bit about folklore. We look at the fact that there are certain beings and creatures and deities and gods are associated. There are different mystical and mythical properties associated with different woods, and that all comes from somewhere. Certain woods are best used for making certain things, like hurls are made from ash, you know, and certain musical instruments are better made from particular woods. So it is something to consider. A stick is never just a stick. A piece of wood is never just a piece of wood. In the right hands and with the right intention, they can be used to produce amazing things. So now to answer some questions that I've been asked, because I get asked questions about sticks, and I know that's my own fault because I put myself out there. It is amazing if you have an unusual interest in something. I guarantee you there are people out there who either share that interest or at least want to understand and engage with you about that interest. But I get asked a lot of questions. One, I get asked, do I have a favorite stick? At the moment it's this stick because it's here. But do I have a favorite stick? It depends. It depends what I'm doing. I can't believe I'm answering these as genuine questions, and I'm going to the trouble of making a video. But nah, I love this stick. Um, this is, I was making a wand recently, which is this one here. I'll talk about those in a moment as well. But I suppose it depends on what I'm doing, it depends what I'm doing and what I'm trying to make when I have a stick. But I just generally, sticks give me joy. I have people contacting me to give me sticks, which is amazing. People send me photographs and videos of sticks that they've found, and that's incredible, because another thing about the sticks for me in this regard is it's an opportunity to engage with people, and that is one of my true passions. I don't see much of a difference between sticks and people, and that's probably a whole video in itself. But when I talk about how they're all unique and they've got different uses and different strengths, sticks and people are not that different. And I do sometimes meet people and think, he, she, they're a good stick. I think Nick Offerman is, one of the greatest sticks that has ever lived, and someone who I admire, who I'd also love to have a conversation with him about sticks. So, do I have a favorite stick? Yes, and it changes from moment to moment. I get asked what makes a good stick, which is a very similar question, what's the difference between a good stick and a great stick? And that the only difference is how it's used. They're neutral, they're fundamentally neutral, and it's what we do with them that brings out their greatness, or how they can be used. And I think that's something that's really important. I get asked, what do I do with the sticks? Do I make anything with them? And I've alluded to that already and mentioned it. And yeah, I do use them for stuff. If I find a stick and I bring it home and I'm allowing them to dry out and I clear the bark off them and I find that it has rot or it's brittle, it gets burnt. It provides heat. It's fuel. But I make things out of them, and sometimes they're just around me for decoration and it feels good to have them. But I will do things like make the wand, and I'll bring that over here now for a moment. I make wands because they're fun, and again, it's about the imagination and about focus. But this is a piece of oak which I made into a wand, and I put a piece of basalt into the center of it. I've made wands, and I've made like pendants and jewelry that I polish up, again, different woods and different shapes. And I'm really lucky. Some that I've made are in every corner of the world. They're spread out. People have bought them for me, or they've been gifts. I also make rambling sticks, and I always specify that they're not walking sticks because they're not medical grade mobility aids. But a rambling stick is something I would use a lot, which is if I'm going walking, if I'm up the woods. If I don't bring a rambling stick with me, you can be damn sure I'm going to find one in the woods. And if I'm walking in the hills, it's good to have something there for support, or if I have to push back nettles, or if I need to prod something, because you need to prod every now and again. So yeah, I've made walking sticks, and I suppose working on the sticks themselves is something that's made a big difference for me in the last couple of years with, the pandemic and the state of the world. It's nice to be able to come out to my shed and, take one of the sticks that I've brought home, and I start to peel away the bark. I start to use like knives and tools. I peel away the bark, I remove the damaged ends, and I start to shape them. And giving myself the time to do that, and the smell of the wood and seeing the form coming through, is something that's really good for my mental health. But I am privileged to have a space to do this. I'm privileged to have the use and the motor skills to be able to do it. And I'm very privileged to have the time to be able to give to, myself and my mental health. And then I get to show those sticks and share them with people, and it gives me an opportunity to engage. So the only thing I'm probably missing with sticks is the fact that I don't eat them, but I imagine with them being quite fibrous, and the roughage would be good for my digestion. But they provide so much. They literally will provide heat. They they supply a structure. They give me the time to look after myself, and it gives me joy with working them. So yeah, I fucking love sticks. And if you are out and about and you see a stick, I now have people who contact me because they've seen a good stick, and I've mentioned that already, but it's amazing to think that something as simple and as timeless as a stick will make people think about me and how happy sticks make me. And if that gives joy to people or just makes them scratch their heads, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to put this stick down for a moment because I think I'm finished talking about sticks in this format for now. But I will say, I was given a box of sticks recently, and I'm just going to reach in to the box now and I'm going to pull out some sticks. People give me sticks, and to be associated with something as simple and as basic, I just find it really joyous. So I hope that answers questions. It's probably brought up more questions, and if you do have any questions, please just leave a comment on this video. Subscribe if you want to. You'll find me over on TikTok. You'll find me on Twitter. You'll find me on Instagram, where I share pictures and videos of the things that I do with sticks. And every now and again, I tell a story. So thank you so much if you managed to make it all the way through here. And have a great day.